back to another edition of the show. It is March 2nd, 2022, and I'm joined once again by Kyle Klingman, and we got a special sponsor for the show. It's UCAN, the company that's redefining energy and fueling wrestlers to their personal best. You can visit ucan.co/flow to learn how top wrestlers train with UCAN and use code FLOW, F-L-O, for 20% off. Yeah, check that out. Kyle, it's the conference weekend. It's a big weekend. What are you jacked about?
I'm jacked. I get to go to the Big 12 championships, but there's a lot more than that going on, of course, this weekend. And it's packed. The women's nationals, women's collegiate nationals is happening this weekend. So this is really, as far as just production for college wrestling events across the country, this is the weekend. There's so much going on, and glad I get to be at the Big 12s and be a part of it. I'll be following the women's nationals and all the other conferences too, but this is going to be a blast, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And our guest today wrestled in the Big Ten championships. Also wrestled in the Pac-12, I suppose. Or not I suppose, I know he did. Joey McKenna. Joey, how you doing today?
Hey, Bader. Hey, Kyle. How you guys doing? I'm doing great. Just
awesome.
Great Wednesday morning here.
Yep. Welcome back from Turkey. I know you had a pretty good trip out there. First of all, is there anything that you're excited about for conference weekend?
Yeah, there's a few things. This is always just a big time of the year, right? Everybody talks about March, and, it only matters in March. And, JB said it best yesterday. March is here. So this is the time where people get to shine, and it's going to be a great weekend. I'm real excited to watch, of course, the Big Tens, watch my Ohio State guys, and, just all the great wrestling that's going to bring, but also the Penn team and the Drexel teams here at the EIWAs up at Cornell. So I'm really excited to see how those guys show out, the guys we train every day with. So it's just an exciting time of the season. March is here.
Yep, absolutely. And for freestyle, obviously you guys you're hitting your stride. You just went to Yashardo, however you want to say it. But
Yep,
obviously
Dogu.
Jordan Burroughs recently joined the PRTC, and I think I heard him say this weekend that you two train together a lot, which would make sense. But I'm just like, when do you first remember learning who Jordan was? Was it at some point in college? Was it when he's going out in 2011 to win the Worlds? And what were you doing? Where were you at in like third grade, seventh grade, kindergarten? Like, tell me about that experience, figuring out who he was.
Yeah, so the first time I definitely heard of Jordan Burroughs, I think I was maybe like 10, because he was a similar age as my cousin who wrestled. That's how I got into the sport. So I went and watched my cousin in 2004 in Atlantic City. Also, New Jersey States are this weekend. But yeah, so I watched him in 2004, I believe. So that was the first time I ever seen him. Knew he was pretty good. And then in 2012, I made the Cadet World Team, and I just remember laying on my couch. I watched him through college. I went to the NCAAs, but 2012, I was getting ready to leave for Baku, Azerbaijan for the Cadet Worlds, and I was watching on TV the Olympics and watched Jordan win his gold. So that was probably the first most memorable experience I had. And now training alongside him, it's just a blessing. He's just got a wealth of knowledge and experience that you can learn so much from.
If I would have told that boy and just sitting on the couch watching the Olympics, I'd have been like, hey, in literally 10 years,
10 years,
you guys are gonna be training partners. Would that seem realistic?
Probably not back then, but that's how it is now. I mean, he's the old guy on the scene and still just killing it. So, and we're those young guys, and there's a generation watching us now that, who knows, might be training alongside us one day too.
There's a little bag of donuts out there somewhere. How has training with Jordan benefited you the most in the sense of, like, sometimes it's like, hey, this guy just kicks your ass enough, you're gonna get better, or man, he really helps me on technique or mindset, or it's probably smorgasbord, but is there something that is like, man, having this guy in the room and around me in the wrestling world, this helps me the most. So this is where I really take something from him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very unique style to wrestle. So one thing it just teaches you to be is focused. You have to wrestle him focused, or else you're gonna get blasted off your feet. So you definitely have to wrestle focused. And but yeah, just mindset, little things, nuances in inside positions, inside just the realm of the sport that are just really good tidbits to kind of think about and work on. But yeah, just working hard through every position, wrestling it all is definitely like one of the biggest takeaways that I get from him.
Sure. Now let's kind of talk about Turkey, right? First of all, we were talking offhand. We both went together, not together, but on the same trip in 2014 to Izmir. This time you went to Istanbul. What do you think of Istanbul, Turkey?
Istanbul was great. The accommodations were great for us wrestlers. The hotel, we got in pretty much for a full week of training before we got there. We got in Tuesday and didn't compete till Sunday. Um, but yeah, it was just a great competition. We had a great contingent from Team USA, and it's just fun to be on the trips with those guys, the different coaches, different wrestlers, getting different bodies in the workouts, going in, but all just there for like the same purpose. And we always hope that we're on different sides. It never shakes out. A lot of times you get them first match,
Yeah.
second match, but it's just really fun to go out there with everybody as a team.
Do you, whether it's this trip or I know you've been on plenty of international trips, how often are you wrestling with guys that aren't on your team, guys who aren't Americans? Does that happen a whole lot? Training, obviously, not competing.
Yeah, not so much. Like usually when we go there the week leading in, and we all train together.
Yeah.
But I did have the opportunity back in January before the Oregon. I went to Krasnoyarsk a week early and stayed with one of their wrestlers, Nachin Kular, who's actually my weight class and beat me at the 2017 U23 Worlds. But just got connected through Instagram and stayed with him for a week of training before Team USA got there, and then I kind of went back with the American team to settle in before competition, which was just an amazing, amazing trip.
Krasnoyarsk is an awesome city, right? I really liked it.
Yeah, yeah, I like it a lot. It's just a different culture. You know, there's permafrost on the ground. It's freezing. That's just their life. Definitely makes you a little tougher, which is fun. But um, yeah, it's like a pretty big city. There's like 1.5 million, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty spread out, but still, like it's a good feeling. I
And
love it. Every chance I get,
yeah,
I'd like to go there. I mean,
takes 2.5 days to get there, but yeah. So you
yeah.
talked about the different culture, and I heard a story, but I only like remember some details about you got invited over to dinner or something, but it wasn't exactly what you thought. But can you kind of take us through this?
Yeah, so I mean, because I was there just kind of 5, 6 days by myself, I just immersed myself in their culture. And the last day that I was staying with my buddy Nachin, he wanted me to go over to his Tuvinian coaches. Tuva's a different region in Russia where he's from, and he wanted me to go have Tuvinian Myasa, which is meat. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Like I'm excited. So I went over and I came in and he's like, Joe, Baden. And he's like, Ram. So I ate it and it was good. It was good. I mean, when in Russia, it was awesome. Just a great experience. Got to experience the culture and nothing I will probably ever see here in the United States.
That's amazing. Did you do did you jump in the river?
I did. I did. I'm one of those crazies. I went to the little banya on the river on the Yenisei, and got to dip in the river for a second time.
Man, Yeah.
I just go in, I tell them I'm American and I want to experience, I want to go in the river. And, they just treated me. 2 years ago, I went with Justin Hawk and we had a great time. But this year, I just soloed it. I knew where to go, so I just went, did it. I just walked in, used the Russian I could, and made it happen.
Dude, that's great. That's fantastic.
Went Russian.
Yeah, I got to make it back to Krasnoyarsk. Klingman, you got to get over there. Get yourself
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't know if
river.
it's going to happen anytime soon, but
I
it would be
know.
fun to go. Yeah.
Forever is a long time.
Well,
Forever is a long time. Um,
true.
okay, back to we got sidetracked somehow, but that was great. Back to Dogu. How do you feel about the way you competed? Yeah, minus the wins and losses. How do you feel about the way that you wrestled and competed?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, at this level, that's one of the most important things. Is more just how I compete, not necessarily what the result is. Um, I think that just goes to my mindset and my faith. That's just where I kind of see that from. And I think I competed hard. Every time I go out there, I would just want to give 100% full effort, and I feel like I did that. And had some great matches, some brought home a bronze, which is always good, and just had a great performance. And I feel like where my mind was at and what I was focused on was just really good and allowed me to compete well. And either way, despite the results, gonna learn from them and see the lessons learned and continue to get better. I mean, it's the Yashar Dogu, not the trials or the world championships. So there's some positive takeaways to have.
Yep. So I kind of wanted to watch one of these matches, and it wasn't a win, but it was a quarterfinal match against Shikayev. So we could just start playing this. And coming into this match, do you know anything about this guy? What do you know about him? And how do you approach these international matches?
Yeah, I mean, I try to approach him the same. I mean, this is a guy that I knew about. I knew he was the Euro champ last year. I kind of forgot that he was the world champ. I watched it, but I just didn't even really think. But this is kind of the match I wanted. Like when the draws came out and I saw that I was potentially going to have him, this is why I go to compete overseas. I want to wrestle the best in the world and prove, just kind of prove where I'm at. And so I was just excited for this match and was going to go out there trying to give full effort. So
Oh, nice here.
so we don't come to the waist. Teach a little wrestling lesson.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Is there much different approach? There's a different feel, right, to a lot of these Russian guys. Maybe, or I mean, foreigners, right, and probably Russians have their own kind of feel. Is it you take that in consideration when you approach match versus one of these guys from the United States that you've wrestled 5 times?
Not really too much. I mean, I feel like when I'm focused on the right things on my attacks and driving up and through that, like it doesn't really matter. I mean, of course, these guys, I'd say, just it's a different kind of hand fight. So just being a little more conscious of that. They're big on control ties, like drags and hooks, as more so than just like hang on collar tie, drive.
Yeah.
So definitely more thoughtful of stuff like that. Misdirection type, thinking about those kinds of things.
Yeah. And I think this is a challenge, Tyler. You can probably scrub forward here, because we're just gonna there you go.
Yeah, the refs kind of they just they were just confirming what the call was.
It was one.
It was one for me, but one of the refs gave one him, but his now.
I thought so on the left side. Yep.
Yeah. I do remember like going in, I had seen him like walking around. I'm like, man, this guy's like tall. I was like, he's Like, he's not one of those small guys. He's more the tall, lanky.
Like a Satia type body.
Yeah.
There's that misdirection you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, man. Oh, man. So close. This is so high level.
This is where, like, I'm like, man, freestyle scrambles, like, you can't beat it. Like, I don't know, there's so much better than a funk roll.
I've just, over the last, I don't know how many years, I really enjoy freestyle more. I don't know. I think partly because it is the best of the best, right? It's the fastest, strongest wrestlers on the planet, and folk style, it's a step down.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
faster sport, in my opinion.
Yeah. No matter the result, it's kind of fun when you just watch these matches over because, I mean, you can appreciate some of the things like man, that was nice. Like, what he tried to do was, and like you can just kind of see to improve.
You can scrub. This is a 30-second break, Tyler. You can scrub through this probably. Do you watch video much of yourself, wins or losses, or just whatever, just any kind of matches?
I always watch my matches after and definitely reevaluate. Um, but I wouldn't say like I watch competitions as they go if I'm home and stuff like that, and then I'll watch specific things, but I don't really watch too much of my competition other than like a scouting standpoint.
Yeah. There we go. Oh my god. I don't know how he fought that off for so long. That's crazy.
He was so. It was the weirdest thing. He was so long, so he was like grabbing my waist.
Like a foot taller than you. Oh, beautiful. There's 3 mats going on, right?
Yeah, there was an A, B, and a C.
Do you typically hear much when you wrestle? Whether it's the crowd or the coaches or ref or something?
Usually I can hear my coaches,
Yeah.
but I don't really hear much of the crowd.
Not that there's like a huge crowd at these, but there's, they get loud sometimes.
Yeah. There was a just a quick shout out to Raleigh Peterkin, Blair alum and Penn alum. But he kind of lives over there right now, so he met and brought us to the Grand Bazaar, and then he ended up coming to watch us wrestle, which was just really cool. He's like, "This was the first wrestling I've been to in like so long, and it was so great." I'm like, "Yeah, that's awesome."
Which people he knows probably showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Grand Bazaar is huge, right? All those little tunnels and walkways and shops and.
Yeah. I was wondering when we walked out, I was like, wait, were we just underground? Like, we had to have been. I was
Yeah.
just so confused. Because when you're in there, you're just like, you're looking everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude.
So what do you
That
think?
one, I wonder if I'm like,
They gave
could
one.
that potentially have been two
Can we
or
see that again,
no?
Tyler? One more time. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
tough
that's
to
fine.
say because I catch his toe, but
Well, could have, yeah. I mean, they have called crazier things.
yeah.
I yeah. I, oh, it was, Did his knees hit?
but because then he gets his knees up.
Yeah. I guess if his knees never
But I
hit.
was, yeah, I'm like, is it before that or no?
Yeah. 7-3, 1 minute. What are you thinking here?
What I was thinking was if I get to his legs again, I'm about to win. But he got to mine first.
Yeah. Oh. Like he caught him? No?
I did catch him. That was 2 for me. They end up we challenge at the end to get that 2, which they corrected, but I got
Wasn't
laced
enough.
too many times.
Yeah. Worst things have happened.
Yep. But yeah, just still a good competition. My next one, I knew, the guy that Shakiev ended up wrestling the semis got injured.
Yeah.
So I knew that I just had one match pretty much. And against the Romanian, who's a Russian from Yakutsk, ended up that secured the bronze medal.
Yeah. And really, I mean, that quarterfinal match, you said it, right? 5 minutes plus, like great wrestling. And it wasn't like bad wrestling. You just got caught, got taken down and caught into a lace. It's not like it came out of position or, it's not like, I don't know. It's not like bad sloppy wrestling. It's like 1 or 2 small things, which obviously can be the difference. But I don't know. Impressive
but
match.
He does have a good play. I think that's how he won his world championship. But hey, that just shows, right? People are good at something.
Yeah. I mean,
we're on the best.
Does a match like that, even though you lost, can it give you more confidence because you're like, okay, look what I can do against a guy like this?
Oh yeah, even just the opportunity to compete just kind of allows you to sharpen everything, and in the wins and the losses, just got to take the positives and the things to work on. So those things give a lot of positives and confidence.
Yeah, because that was those takedowns you were hitting were, I'm just like replaying them in my mind, like running him down and like, yeah, foot on the gas.
Yeah.
So that was Turkey. So now you're back. Is your sleep schedule, are you like back on track? You're getting close. I know sometimes you're like up all night.
Yeah, getting there. Honestly, it's been a pretty decent adjustment so far. Knock on wood. Been going to bed at 9, waking up like 6:30, but it's a solid amount of time. So I'm sure I'll get there soon. But yeah, just doing what I can, taking it light on the mat, getting back into my lifting schedule, and just trying to eat well. I mean, my sister spoils me. She's a great cook, my roommate, and yeah, just in my off time, getting some saunas, some recovery, some of the things I'm doing, eating, stuff like that.
Yeah. What do you like? Recovery. I feel like recovery. It's either as you get older, it's more important, or just as time has gone on, there's been more focus on it. Do you feel like that's the case?
I think it's always important, but as you get older, kind of to sustain your body. Like I definitely don't feel like I did in college in terms of a body standpoint. But yeah, just doing stuff like that. I mean, kind of supplementing, stuff like that. After my lifts, getting in my stuff with my breakfast. This one's sponsored by UCAN. I mean, UCAN is a sponsor of mine, and they do a great job just keeping me with things that I need to fuel my body, keep my energy levels high no matter what it is, and get back to it.
Okay. So what kind of products? I know they have powders, they have bars, they have the squishy packet things. Which products of theirs do you use, and when for you is the optimal time to use them?
Yeah, with the UCAN, I mean, Really, it's anytime. I just ate a bar. All I'm doing is sauning today, but I was a little hungry. Wanted something to kind of sustain me till I go get some Mexican food tonight. So definitely like bars intermittently. They have a granola that I do with my yogurts in the morning, stuff like that. They have energy and protein supplements. So like after a lift in the morning when I know I'm going to practice a little later, get my protein in for my lift, but also give myself that carb, that good energy for when I have to go wrestle later. And then, yeah, if I get a little hungry before practice, I like to eat like 2.5 hours before practice. So sometimes I'm getting a little hungry around 45 minutes. A bar is one of the best ways I feel sustained through practice. And, obviously competition day, after weigh-ins, the energy protein is part of my just routine. It's what I do at home, and it's what I'm going to do to feel good when I compete. And then throughout the day, like even in Istanbul, we had a long day. We weighed in at 8 a.m. I was first match on mat A, so I wrestled at 10:30. And my last match, because I had a forfeit, was around 7:30. So it was just a long day. So, having some UCAN throughout that day just helped me really just stay sustained. You're eating weigh-in food and bar food anyways. You're not getting legit meals. You're eating what you bring with fruit and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
on like competition day, what are you taking the protein? Are you taking a powder, or are you eating bars, or both?
both, yeah. So right after weigh-ins, it's my powder, like my little shake. So that's that, and then sometimes I'll throw some of the extra carb in just because I know it's going to be a long day. And then yeah, some of the gels too. Like if I'm really feeling it just quick, I use the gel packs. But and then they also have just an electrolyte drink, so using that after weigh-ins keep the body hydrated.
Nice.
They got it all. They're great.
So I like talking about weigh-ins and what you're recovering, what you're going to do afterwards. Also, you can visit ucan.co-flow and use promo code FLOW, 20% off. But I'm curious about like when you were when you first started wrestling, what did you do after weigh-ins? There's not like a really recovery process, but usually they step off the scale, and I had like peanut butter and jelly and Gatorade or something. Kind of take me through the years. Some kids had donuts and Coke, right? Just didn't know. Take me through the years and kind of what you first did and how things evolved to this step, right?
Yeah, a lot, a lot. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, it didn't really matter. Probably usually a bagel because I was from Jersey, so we'd stop
Sure.
at the bagel shop, get a bagel with cream cheese, apple juice, pancakes. I remember through high school at Blair, we'd always get hot cakes from McDonald's. That was our thing. College was probably early on bagels, and then it turned to oatmeal and some other stuff. And then now, I try to eat as similar to how I do when I'm training. And, just because that's what my body's used to doing. So it's become a lot more of a refined process. And just knowing as I've gained knowledge on what to put into my body. Yeah, it's wild trajectory,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's important. It's important. I mean, it's not like if I'm not competing or something like that, right? I still treat myself, but I love donuts. I'm always good. Which I still haven't had since I've been back, so I need to step that game up.
They're probably at the donut shop, like, where's Joey? I thought,
Yeah,
man,
we thought he was back.
yeah, yeah. It's wild to hear some people's um, weight cutting, dieting, post weigh in stories, because there's been a lot of stuff happened over the years with a lot of people. But I want to move on. Kyle Klingman's sitting here just hanging out, but he's got a little game for you.
Joe, it's our game
A
called
game.
Sweat It Out. Yeah, it's Sweat It Out. 5 questions, hoping to make you sweat. You're going to have a sauna today, so this is your pre-sauna, I guess. So if you're ready to play, hope you are.
All right.
Number one, Ray Kroc purchased what fast food company and served as CEO from 1967 to 1973?
McDonald's.
You got it. Number 2, what Canadian actress played leading roles in Mean Girls, The Notebook, and Spotlight?
I can picture her face. Oh my goodness.
Describe her face to us, Joey.
She's blonde in Mean Girls. Man. I don't know.
All right, it is Rachel McAdams.
Rachel McAdams. Okay.
Yep.
I learned. I'm really bad at actress and actors' names.
I'm curious where you're getting these random questions that usually you have like a theme that the people's names would be Joey or Mick something.
McAdams.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see here. You gotta talk it out loud. So
Number 3, what University of Iowa wrestler won 2 NCAA titles at 125 pounds and placed second to Anthony Robles at the 2011 NCAA championships?
Matt McDonough.
You got it. Number 4,
yeah.
what mixed martial artist defeated Chad Mendez on July 11th, 2015 to win the interim UFC featherweight championship?
Conor McGregor.
Yep. And number 5, who currently serves as the chairman and CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment, known as WWE?
I don't know that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna know this.
All right, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Yep.
I should know that, especially with Gable repping.
Gable
Yeah, you
repping.
should.
What do you think about that kid? He's a kid.
Amazing, man. He's the man. He's the man. We were on the team together in AMs over the summer, and he was just great energy. So I like Gable a lot.
It's gonna be really interesting to watch him. Presumably,
He's paving for wrestlers. He's paving a way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, just like some of the trailblazers before.
Exactly. So who knows? There could be WWE could be littered with college wrestlers in the future. It would be great. But Joe, we've kind of run to the end of the line. We got conference this weekend. NCAA is the following. Are you going to either?
I am.
The conferences
I'm not
NCAAs?
going to any conference.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang home and adjust and watch from the comfort of my couch. But I'll be at NCAA's. I'm gonna go to the Rudis event, watch that, and that'll be a great time. And then I'll also be speaking at the FCA Wrestling Champions Breakfast on Friday morning, March 18th. So if anybody's interested in that, just head to FCAWrestling.com, buy a ticket. I'll be there, and of course I'll be sitting, watching, and supporting a bunch of guys.
Yeah, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but you got Snyder or Cox?
I got Snyder.
All right, man. The Ohio connection too. Yeah, but I'm sure you believe he's gonna win, and I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't wait. Should be interesting.
I mean, it's gonna be an awesome match. I'm excited. Jaden's a great wrestler, and it's gonna be fireworks. So I'm just excited to see it.
Yeah. Finally get to see it. Well, Joey, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you spending some time with us, sharing some stories, and we're gonna give you the final word for anything you might want to say about anything.
No, all good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Joey. Have a great day.
Thanks. See you again.
See you in Detroit. All right, world traveler Joey McKenna. Kyle, good show. Good times.
It is, man. You're a world traveler too.
Yeah, I suppose I am.
You've been to a lot of the places. I mean, even before you had to remind him that, hey, we were on the same trip together.
This is true. I've been to a lot of places, so I'm sure we'll go to a few more. I'll bring you along one of these times, Kyle. It'd be great.
Yep. That'd be
All right.
good to do it.
All right. Where do you want to go?
I want to go any place that we can be on the Flow Wrestling team together, because usually we were mortal enemies there for a while. We still are, but I think at least we're on the same Flow Wrestling team, and
Yes.
we can fake it and work together.
All right. I'll see you in Detroit.
All right.
All right. See you, folks.
Sounds
Thanks for
good.
tuning in. For Kyle Klingum, I'm Mark Bader. Adios.